but it does mean we're going to get what we need if we really seek, if we really ask, if we really search it out. The presence of the Christ in our lives. Standing in the presence of Christ, I believe we can endure all things and overcome all things. And even when death itself is imminent, we know, because we have knocked on the door of the Christ, where we're going. And death doesn't win. We go through hell a lot in our lives, don't we? But I said earlier that there were two scriptures I was going to read, and I did. I also think there's another kind of hell. And it comes to us from that temptation story of Christ. Interesting what the devil tempts him with, isn't it? The devil doesn't say to Jesus, I'm going to inflict you with cancer until you serve me. And when you serve me, I'll make that go away. No, he doesn't do that. He doesn't try to tempt him to do terrible things. Instead, he says, I'm going to stand you on this mountain. I'm going to show you this kingdom. And if you serve me, I'll give you all of that. And are you hungry? Well, you've been fasting for 40 days. Look here, Jesus. Most people can't keep their diet going any more than 2 or 3 days. You've done 40. And just turn these stones into bread. Then he takes him to the top of the temple and says, jump off. Scripture says angels will catch you. Jump off. You see what's happening here? Basically what's happening is Satan is saying, challenge God. Challenge God. He's actually quoting Scripture, but he's perverting it. Challenge God and see what happens. And he's also playing into very human desires, isn't he? He plays on what we're hungry for. He plays on riches and wealth and position. And he teaches us that if those are the things we hunger after, wow, you're going to do real good. That's what people want. We want the bigger house, the bigger car, the bigger income. We want all of these things because they're going to make you happy. And that's what he tempts Christ with. Because in this story, Satan knows that when we give in to what we think this world has that's going to make us fulfilled, we're going to end up walking through hell. Because you know what? We never have enough, do we? You know of anybody that seems to have everything, but they're not searching for more? We always want more, don't we? It's a human condition. And I think that as we live our lives focusing on what we can gather, on what we can spend, on what we can buy, on what we can own, I think the more that we start focusing in on those things, the more we take our eyes off a relationship with Christ. And we start building up wealth that creates a giant hole in our souls. A hole that can never be filled by anything the world has to offer. And we start going through hell, don't we? Because we center in on ourselves. I like these two different passages. Jesus being tempted with the things that tempt us in life, that we're taught are important, that take our eyes off Christ and the needs of other people, that create a hell that we don't even recognize, that we begin to live in. And then he preaches about how to get out of hell. This hell on earth, this hell of pain, fear, hurt, brokenness, distress. He tells us how. Knock, ask, seek. Keep on knocking. Keep on asking. Keep on seeking. And when you find Christ, Find your way out. I like what Winston Churchill once said during the height of World War II. For those of you who haven't heard of him, he was the Prime Minister of England during World War II, and his voice on the radio is what kept the spirits of the British people high, and their hopes high, and their courage high, in the darkest moments when it looked as though they were going to be bombed into extinction. Churchill went on the radio and he said, among other things, when you're going through hell, keep on going. Isn't that great? Jesus puts it, seek, knock, ask, don't give up. Help us, oh God. Help us as we go through our personal hell here on earth. Help us as we struggle with life to find its meaning. Help us, oh God, to serve you the way you want us to serve you, to seek you out, that we may be transformed